Alright, so that was Mount Battle 100. I now have Ho-Oh. Now though, I need... Actually, it should already be set up. Here is the silver team. Save over this team. I thought to myself, because upon doing all this stuff... It's funny how this keeps happening to me. I no longer have Game Boys. So all this is thankfully just stuck to my game. So I need to eventually buy myself an SP so this way I can do it. But yeah, I was fortunate because I was like, I don't think I can do it. You have double and single versions of all of them. I haven't... Oh, okay, I have to... I didn't technically do it. Charles did, I know that. And this is Colosseum 100, I know that. But we're going to go ahead and give... We're going to give him a shot. If we fail, I don't care. But we'll go ahead and try all of these at least once. What kind of trainers await? Probably the kind that will kick my ass. So let's go ahead and open up the silver team on Phenac Stadium. All of these will be double battles. Good luck, friends. Yes, Gygus looks a bit different. We should go over that real quick. Now, I believe these are all random presets as well, so you may not get the exact same things I do, but so far this is looking like it's gonna be pretty easy. So going over, Hot Shot, both stats and attacks. I want to say that almost exactly mimics it, except for Cross Chop in place of Strength, I believe he had. Slow Bro, remember the one, again, this also mimics it perfectly. The main thing in particular is I did not IV train a lot of these. This, because Ancient Power, this is actually the reward for completing Pokemon XD's little Mount Battle challenge, which I'm pretty sure I did show in the LP, and I don't remember which one I picked, but yeah, this was the Chikorita with Ancient Power, so we got that little exclusive advantage, and also has Frenzy Plant, which for some reason is called Solid Plant in Colosseum, I don't know why. And I just figured leave that be. Stone Sour, who's basically the same. Brick Break instead of Low Kick. And then Gygus, who's, yeah, now he's evolved. He's a big boy now. And Hop Tart, who has Wish now, thankfully. I don't know why it's flashing. It shouldn't be flashing. Don't flash. Yeah, okay. Focusing on these guys. This will all be super simple, super easy. Flamethrower, good. You. And then we can go ahead and grab you. That's Hot Shot and Stone Sour to open with. And then I guess we'll go ahead and grab Gygus. And then we'll go ahead and grab Slowbro. Who cares? This is basically how the Mount Battle 100 opens up a lot of the time. Let this animation play once. But, yeah, it's all super simple, super easy. You don't gotta think for a lot of them. I find the Mount Battle thing pretty fun if you want to go ahead and just... Like, what I did back in the day was I'd play, when it used to exist, 6 Sense on iHeartRadio. Just listen to that and just play Pokemon. Just, you don't gotta think about anything. Just have fun. That's it. You're grinding all this stuff up. It's nice. It's relaxing. It feels good. So that was what I did. Now, I lucked out by getting all of these guys, thankfully, because none of them were quite 100 or anything like that, so it's very, very fortunate that I got this to work, because, like, that's what I hate about this shit, is the whole, it has to be level 50, it's a 51, it's not allowed in, no, and I got, like, a level 51 Steelix, and I can never be able to use it because of this dumb shit. I'm grateful that Gen 5, might be wrong, it's 4, but I'm pretty sure Gen 5 onwards, they added a thing where it automatically adjusts the level, so the stats and all that are based around that. So this way you can technically have like a Charmander, your level 5 Charmander, and it'll just adjust those stats to be like a level 50 Charmander, but it'll have all the exact same moves. So it's very, very convenient, and I cannot get over that feature enough. Like, it's the best new addition thing they've ever added, period. And if they had something like that, that would have made this game a lot better. Same goes for Stadium, honestly. I don't know about PBR, because again, I don't remember if they did anything like that in Gen 4. I don't know of it. Also makes things like the Battle Frontier much easier as well. I don't think, yeah, I'm pretty sure there are no rules on any of these other than, I don't know. I'm pretty sure there's rules. But I know for a fact you can go in this with like Mewtwo, Kyogre, Groudon if you want, and you want to go ahead and beat them up. But just because you do that doesn't mean you're going to win. Like, I remember doing that with tower stuff and we still didn't win. So, there's something to think about. Because I don't think we've, yeah, obviously, I'm pretty sure we haven't beaten tower or anything. We might have beaten one of them. I remember when I recorded the Tower Colosseum, we got up to like, I think round 6. And that was where I lost. So I'm curious to see how well I do this time with my newfound knowledge of Pokemon over the course of 6 years. I'm dating the video by saying that, I just realized. Oh well. I mean, if we're being technical, it was recorded in August. So it's not like it's 7 years. God help me if this is released in August. I hope it's not. Okay, another simple one, because everyone's, like, that's just it. You don't even got to think too much about types, because it's like, well, firstly, Stone Tower can take out half the team. We'll get Slowbro. I shouldn't be spending any time thinking about anything. We'll just grab Hop-Tart and Lita, I guess. I don't really care. Like, it doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to think, but I am thinking for some stupid reason. Like, at this point, it doesn't matter. You're not going to fight anything that's really going to hurt you. I need to skip that from now on instead of letting it play. That'll save me seconds, which will make the video shorter. I try to be considerate about that. Oh no, what's a Grimer and a Slugma gonna do? They're both basically the same Pokemon. One is poison. One is not poison. I haven't tested out, so I don't know how well the cooperation between these guys go. So I don't know how much Earthquake's gonna do. That doesn't do too much. Alright, so Slowbro can take an Earthquake. Gygus has Levitate. Hop-Tart's a flying type. So that's at least good to know that half the team will be fine. Lita will be fine because Lita resists it, and that just leaves Hot Shot. So don't use Earthquake against Hot Shot. That's basically it. Which that should be a no-brainer. But yeah, basically everyone can stand Earthquake pretty well. I was like, as I was going through the 100, I was thinking to myself, like, how hard it would be, how much of the punishment they could take, and all stuff like that. Punch it. No. Feint attack you, Surf. So I remember, like, testing it out with Entei. I'm like, oh, it's possible Entei could take the punishment or something like that. So, like, because again, like, I was trying to think on how to make it work for things like Earthquake, and that was more the reason why I influenced Protect onto Crocagator opposed to Rain Dance, because I was like, it just makes more sense to do this. And I hate to say, but unless you're specifically building a team around a weather-based move, a weather-based move is not exactly a good idea. Like, you kind of have to make it specifically for that. I do feel like out of all of them, Sandstorm probably has the most flexibility. But the thing that really gets the most use out of Sandstorm would be rock types. So, I want to say my Sandstorm team is mostly rock types. It was the T-Rex, the Aurora one, that's 2 rock types. Soul Rock, that's 3 rock types. I think everyone was a rock type except for Magnezone, because at that point there was no rock and electric. And I don't have a Alolan Golem yet. I think it's like a Geodude, a Graveler. It's not evolved all the way yet. I know that for a fact. I need to get it evolved, but I don't really have anyone that will trade with me and trade it back. And I don't remember if it's the nature I want it to be either. And even then, I kind of like Magnezone way better too. So it's like, I don't know. I also try and balance my teams a little bit. so this way that it's not 100% physical or 100% special, because that's a bad strategy. You want to try and get as close to a balance as possible. I was yawning during that, but I decided to go open up with Stone Sour, Lita, and then I just picked like Hop-Tart and Gygus, I think, for backup. Because I was like, ground attacks will hurt, and then I looked at the Wooper and I was like, grass attacks will hurt. So that's basically how I decided this one. So it doesn't matter really, again. Easy mode. But I do feel like it's worth showing off, so fuck you. Or just not showing them off twice. Because I don't care that much. Really, I never even planned on showing off any of the, other Colosseums. It was just going to be the tower, and that was going to be it. And then my brother suggested that I do this, and I was like, it's not a bad idea. So that's how we got here. Thank him for giving you extra videos. This is Frenzy Plant. Looks kind of like it hurts, doesn't it? The bad news is Frenzy Plant also kind of makes it so we don't really get to attack again. But see, here's what sucks though, is like my options, again, as I've mentioned, are super limited for Lita, because it's like Solar Beam, Frenzy Plant, Magical Leaf, or Razor Leaf. Like you have 150, that's Frenzy Plant, 150, 120 at Solar Beam, Magical Leaf, which is 60, and then Razor Leaf, which is 55. So I've got a very small the pause there was because I was coughing. I've got a very small window of moves for me to use. If this would have been like Gen 4 and I could have had Energy Ball, which is 90 power, I would have been all about that, but that's not an option as of this point, so it kind of really sucks. What the hell was that? Well, I mean, I don't even know why I'm thinking. Just bonk it, and then go ahead and heal, just to rub it in his face. Oh, look at this! I got my health back! I'm taking drinks, but I think I should go get more. My water glass is almost empty, and this is a 32-ounce glass. That's a lot of water. I don't know, I guess maybe I'm putting too much strain on my voice or something. Which is funny, because I actually haven't been recording too much as far as voice stuff recently. I mean, streaming is about it. But I don't think I've been killing myself streaming. Like, I've only commentated just this Pokemon stuff, and that's it. I had some other videos I worked on, but that was just collecting footage and nothing else. You two will basically start again, because it's like a good idea. No, wait, I changed my mind. Gygus, because you have an electric attack. And then I guess we can go ahead and just do Stone Sour. I was like, Lita can beat up water types, and I was like, so can Gygus. Oh shit, yeah, he can! I need to get in the habit of pushing B on that. Yeah, I don't know why the coughs are happening. It's just, I guess I'm talking too fast, I'm doing something wrong. Makes it hard. But yeah, no, Gygus was originally supposed to be a Gengar before I shot myself in the foot like an idiot. So, he's bigger, faster, stronger. All literally the case. It doesn't really matter. Unfortunately, again, Rock Slide's power is going to be halved because of the double battle thing, but it's alright. It's only a Tailo. We should be okay. I knew the next thing it was going to send out was going to be a water type. I was like, I bet you one of those is not going to get benefited from that Rock Slide. But I am super grateful, though, that everything turned out the way I wanted it to be with the Silver team. Because, again, like, I had to take all of these guys and actually build them from the ground up, because I never did this before, and I was like, this is a good idea. So like, I don't remember anything about Magmar or Stone Sour or anything like them. I don't know. I just know I had to grab some of these guys, level them up, and that was it. I think we had to breed a new Ghastly in order to make this happen. And then it was like the case of trying to figure out things like TMs as well, because I was like, well, how are we going to get this to work? Like, Slowbro also came into mind. Can we get another Psychic? Is this possible? Thank God it was possible. I think the Mount Battle counter itself had its extra Psychic TM for me to buy, so that's like, I'm just so happy this is working out. I apologize for driving the point home, but it is. Also, these are dumb. Instead of it just being 4, like, you know, you would think, and it would make sense, it's 8, which I suppose probably should make more sense, and maybe I'm dumb. I feel like it should be 4, but it's 8. So, there you go. Fighting. You, Stone Sour. Who else can do something? Let's let Xatu do something. Xatu hasn't had a chance, then we'll just pick up Hot Shot and Bro Slow for the hell of it. This is just a case of fucking Stone Sour does everything. He's just got too much type coverage. He's just too good. Also, I don't know what it is, but I do find the trainer classes of the Ore region far more memorable to me, because there's just so many jokes behind all of them. And it's like, I kind of like, I hate to say nostalgia, I really do. I hate that word. But like, I miss so much of them, and I just find them all so fun, goofy, and endearing. Like, they're just so fun to make jokes about. I don't remember any jokes about chasers, female chasers. I don't got anything. I remember the joke about Roller Boy Lawn from the Dual Square, because his name is Lawn, so it's like, Lawn Milk. And then when you beat him, you're gonna take his Lawn Milk. And then the street performers, I don't know, I think it was just because they're holding a wand. But my brother made the joke of Hermione Granger wannabes, so that's what they were. And despite the fact that scientists are in every single Pokemon game, basically, the scientists in this game were so much more memorable, because when I was younger, we used to like make voices and make characters as little jokes. So my idea was Professor Nerd. He talked like this, kind of like that. So anytime a scientist was on, we'd pretend that it was Professor Nerd, like that. Actually, kind of hurts. I really need to get more water here soon. In a second, we're gonna do that after this fight. And especially on Mount Battle, because we'd imagine he'd have a jetpack and he'd just be flying away in the background. That was always funny. Oh, there's so many jokes. We're gonna get into more jokes here in a second. Like, right here is a cat that's bothering me, and cats are another joke. Because of the male chasers, but I will take this second to go get a drink once this cutscene is over and it starts loading up the next fight, because I'm hurting my voice, I guess. Shut up! I hate you! Okay, we'll go ahead and cut to the part where I'm picking stuff, because I figured there wasn't a point of saying, like, hey, we gotta think now. I could just think while that part was being cut out. Anyway, yeah, there's another good one. Biff Atlas. No, that was Baff Itlas. Because Biff Atlas was the muscular ghost inside of Luigi's Mansion, and there's, like, giant dudes, giant male bodybuilders, and I always thought it was funny, because all the male bodybuilders would have the smallest Pokemon. Like, there was the one right outside of Pyrite, Dude was repping a fucking Aeron. And just, I don't know, I thought it was the trippiest thing. And then the female version, you just switch the I and the A, so it would be Baff Itless instead. So those were also jokes as well. Another one inside of Dual Square was the male chasers, because they were always hunched over. And so it was made the joke that like they were, you know, Donkey Kong mode, kind of like in GoldenEye, like they were Donkey Kong wannabes. And it was always funny, because whenever you would beat them, they'd like lean backwards and grab onto their face. So why didn't... Whatever, it doesn't matter. So they'd lean back and grab onto their face. And we used to have a cat named Aurora. So the move Aurora Beam was always the funniest thing, because we pretend that it was shooting our cat at them. So the joke there was that we'd use Aurora Beam, and like you take the cat, right? We're gonna have it like, so it's spinning around, right? Its claws are in front of its face, you know. It's spinning around like that, claws out in front of its face. That's a hilarious visual to me. And then it just shoots out, and that idea is hilarious, especially with the animation in this game. And the joke there would be like when we'd beat the chaser, we'd use the Aurora cannon, and then we'd shoot it, and then he'd be grabbing his face. Get this angry cat off my face! And it was just really funny. That was more jokes. There's so many jokes. We're getting a lot of it out. There'll be probably examples as we run into the trainer classes as I pay more attention to them. But right now, this is giving me material to work with. And there was the old man. That was the constipated old man. That was another character me and my brother made up. It was his character. And basically the whole point of the constipated old man was like when you talk, you'd put your like lips over your teeth, so it's like you didn't have teeth, and you just and that'd be kind of like the noise he'd make all the time. That was hard for me to do. There he is, the constipated old man. It's perfect. What timing? It's good to see you again. Kind of like that. You're learning a lot about me. I am feeling slow bro and Gygus, and then we'll just do Pseudo Wudo and Magmar. I don't care. Like, it's easy because I don't got to think about what I'm doing. But the constipated old man, that was, I don't know why he came up with it, but he just came up with it, and it was just that joke. That was another character he had. And then I've made up the crippled old lady, but honestly I don't think that was any fun. I mean, like, it was there to be there, but I don't really think it was entertaining. She just like talk in a very "my feet hurt," like that was the joke, and that was basically the end of it. There wasn't really too much going on. It was just making fun of old people, and that was it. As to where the constipated old man was more about a guy who was completely unaware of his surroundings, and he'd just make this weird noise, I guess. I don't know how to describe it, but that was that. So those were some of the jokes. Professor Nerd was also like more about the weird sound and the hard difficulties of speaking, like that. Which I'm sure, thinking about it now, I've made those noises like like that. I've done that plenty of times in videos, so that's, I suppose in a weird way, that's actually shined through quite a bit. And I've never noticed it before. But now all of a sudden it's there, it's out in the open. So if you've ever wondered why the fuck I'm weird, there's like a lot of the reason why I'm weird. And I'm also going to try and maybe figure this out, so it's kind of like the Poke Cup video, where it's just going to be one long video and that'll be it. Because I'd rather not split this into any more than it needs to be, honestly. I'm trying to think of characters that appear in the game. Like, there was other characters we made up, but I don't want to talk about them if they're not relevant. Because I can think of, like, another one, which is meant to be, like, the drill sergeant Marzaphrasm. That was the one I made up. But I really don't feel like doing the voice right now. I kind of want to, but I kind of don't. The main line was, my first name's Marza, my last name's Frasm. Now get used to it. But it was meant to be like a fake scream kind of thing. So it wasn't like really screaming, but it was like that thing where you're trying to scream, like you're emphasizing that you're screaming, but you're like indoors kind of thing. If that's a good way to help you understand, I'm just gonna go ahead and do more Pseudo-Woodolita, and then we'll do fucking Slowbro and Hop-Tart. I don't care. It really doesn't matter, because like no one's died yet. This is it. This is what you get from the actual Colosseum modes. The difference is this is easy mode. So the next few videos will be more focused on the actual Pokemon battles. As to where this is just needless garbage and ranting about dumb childhood shit that comes to mind. And all of the antagonists in this game are also super particularly memorable to me as well. I don't have any nice way to attack you, but any way to attack you is nice. So we'll just do that, and then we'll do that. Is that a cat? I thought I saw something white on the floor. Like, I'm basically telling you so you don't go back and watch those videos. Like, honestly, my biggest set of regrets with those was that basically ex-girlfriend. It was recorded when we were dating, but it got released after we had broken up, so it's just so awkward for me to hear all things relevant to her. That's basically it. I named my partner after her, and it's just so awkward for me. That's it. That's the main reason I don't like it. But in terms of like energy, like that was the point where I realized I kind of really need video games in my life to help me deal with stress. Because at that point in time, I had just started going to university, and I made it like 6 months, and I was like, oh my god, I really need video games in my life. And that was the very first thing, I think actually Gomon might have been, but that was recorded around that time, and I realized how important video games were to me. Do I focus on the Torchic? I can go ahead and try and kill the Torchic first, because the Torchic's actually a bit more of a threat as of this point. That's a weird sentence to say, but like, it's the truth. And then I can use Synthesis to heal myself back up. So, energy-wise, that was that. I don't know, I remember being super hyper and all that stuff. I think it's also kind of funny and awkward, because I look back at, you know, myself, and like, I'd be in my room, I'd turn the volume up super loud because I would pick up the in-game audio on my microphone. It was all recorded using one microphone, which is a bad idea, don't do that. And like, I remember when I'd be done screaming at video games, and like, my roommates would be there, like, what composer are you listening to? Like, that's a video game. And I'm being dumb. So like, ew, so awkward for that. I doubt they remember anything like that. I hope not. I know one of them does, because he thought it was hilarious to like sit around in the living room and listen to me shout, and he was like, nah, I like it, it's one of your quirks. That guy, I know he probably remembers that shit. But the one who asked about the composer, that was a culinary dude who was there for like 3 months, and then he left. And that's basically, go ahead and just go all in. Colosseum's just really weird to me. For the LP, I mean. The game itself's great. I like the game. There's still more stuff to talk about Colosseum about. We'll go ahead and do it, because this is done now. We've done Phenac. That's it. So now we can save more of the discussion for Pyrite. It's almost like a podcast with Pokemon in the background, because nothing's happening that's difficult. I'm not even really thinking about what I'm doing, I'm just doing stuff. So like when Stone Sour died, I was like, oh, yeah, I probably should have done something about that. I wasn't thinking about it.